So thanks for giving opportunity. So in today's call, I maybe try to cover the some because the cyber war and terrorism very vast area. So I'm just trying to cover the half an hour session for this cyber war, and then I'm just giving the 15 minutes one demo. What I'm doing for the cyber attack, how you can apply the different machine learning using Python, and then we can have a question answer session. So before I going for the this one, so I guess I don't want to spend time more on to the machine learning. I guess machine learning is now the becoming the very important part of our life, and like machine learning is again I'm talking about the part again is one of the branch of the artificial intelligence, and this particular field actually you are more dealing with the data. So if you want to see your futures about the machine learning next 20-25 years, future of the machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, digital twin, it will be continuously growing because there is a new formats of data, new things are coming. But when you're playing with data, the data remains the same only. So that's why the machine learning become more and more powerful. So why you want to use the machine learning in this cyber war or security or in general term actually? So what I want to know that like if something is cyber war is going on or cyber terrorism going on, so you got the data. So what you can do, you can identify that what are the different types of hidden patterns are there in the cyber security. Then how you can adopt the new technology cyber war and how you can detect that and how you can come with a solution that adaptability is there. Parallelly, what you can do, how you can predict the different types of the cyber attacks or cyber wars using the machine learning technology. So that is one of the advantages there. Now, the recently you heard about that, like when the India started actually the vaccination for the COVID-19 program in India, there are lots of cyber wars happen on the Dr. Reddy's lab, Covaxin lab, and even Zyme, all the finance pharmaceutical companies. But what is purpose of the cyber war? Either they want to steal the informations, or maybe they want to do the how I can create how I can uh, damage the brand image of my company or something. So that is the main purpose about the cyber war. For the cyber war, it is not required that you require lots of army or you require no. What you can do, it is just required the one or two computers, and after that you can use a different kind of exploits and technique, and you can start that. See, the war between the man and man, the war between this can be easily you can do it. But if the war between the cyber war, the terrorism, it is very difficult to predict, and you don't know at what time it will be happen. Nothing. Another example I want to give about that, like there was one bank was there in the Pune. I forgot the name of the bank, and that time there are some hackers are there actually hacked the bank system, and they actually stolen the 100 crore. And they found that the trace back of all the attack is going to the Kolhapur, Hong Kong, some other area. So this is one of the upcoming domain I want to coming. So how you can use the machine learning in that particular sense actually. So when I'm talking about the machine learning, so once you got a data correct, so you have to identify that what is the objective, uh, what is the objective, uh, what is the objective for the for the just couple of minutes. I'm just got one mail. Sorry. So what is the purpose of that? Basically, you have to identify that now suppose you got one problem solved with the got data. So you have to identify that what is the objective to do this kind of data basically. So what is the objective of your data? You want to do it. So that is the first thing. Then what you can do once you got a live data, correct? So then you have to decide that how much what is data is there, how much you want to do the training data, how much a test data. Then after that, you have to identify the different types of, because once you got data, it's unsupervised algorithm. So you have to apply the mainly unsupervised algorithm for that. And based on that, you have to carry out the all those things. Once you are applying the machine algorithms, your model is got ready. And once your model is got ready, then after that, what you can do this, then you have to create one analytical model, man. That is your output. You have to do it. So that is the main purpose. You have to do it actually. 1 minute. Actually, yes. Yes, 2110. Actually, I'm getting one email. What? Sorry, actually, I'm just work with people also. Martin Weisman. Sorry, wrong. Sorry, I just got one email. I have to respond that. I'm just doing my work also. Okay, so I come back. So this is the way we have to do this. Now the way I'm just ignoring that. So when I'm talking about the when you're going for the traditional cyber or cyber security. So basically people are basically using the cryptography to encrypt and decrypt the message. But now the things got changed because when all the peoples are coming to the communication through the internet, so there are lots of these things are there. So once you got these things are there, you cannot use normally any kind of cyber kind of model that you cannot use it. So basically, as a cyber war, you're talking about that you have to use that cyber war can be happens to the injecting the malware also, or maybe they are talking about the spoofing the IP address, sending unnecessary traffic, that you can do it also. Maybe how I can do the data leakage, maybe I can send the sent of lots of email as a spam also, and then how I can install the Trojan on your mobile, something that I can do. The lots of things are there. These are the new ways the cyber or cyber terrorisms are conducted. Maybe what happened right now, the new days actually, I just I'm actually for the I guess for the sake purpose of only I guess most of the people are watch a movie like Agent Atreya, like if the one person has died actually, so how they are using the misusing of the fingerprint and how they can be used, that is one of the new threats are coming. Uh, uh, so uh, so these are the things we are talking about. I'm talking about that. So that's the challenge is there. Now the when the cyber war or cyber things are attack us, our system is should be capable to do the protect kind of attack. And once the attack has happened, how I can do the different types of kind of analytics onto that. And once I got the knowledge from that, what are the wisdom I got it to take care of how I can prevent different types of cyber attacks in the future, cyber or kind of attack in the future. That I want to know that. So I'm just talking about the how I can do how we can apply the machine learning in the spam filtering. So basically, you got all the messages, and in the message, I guess most of the people have got the message that you want a $25 gift from the Amazon. Maybe you are getting something like that, or maybe your Apple ID got locked, or maybe something that information got. So how you can identify that particular information is a particular spam or not, and how much frequency time you're getting the emails like this. So how you can identify that? Either you can go for the email ID header, then you can go for the subject body. You can say the from also to also at what time they got sent, correct? Those are the things you have to build about that. Then after that, what I can do, I will extract the some of the features from that. I talk about features, means I got one email. In that particular email, I got I got a prompt to body subjects are there. Those are the features I extracted that. Based on that, what I can do, then I can apply the unsupervised learning algorithm. Maybe I can do the collaborative filtering, classification, sorry, the clustering also. I can apply that and I can build a model. And after that, I can test my model also. So those are the things and I apply. So parallelly, what I can do that, if you want to know that, if I want to this particular data, I can predict also what kind of attack can be happens in the futures also, because I got a traffic, correct? Once you are getting once any attack is going on, automatically there is a log entries made by the servers only. So by seeing the log files, you can identify that using a regression algorithm. You can identify that, okay, what kind of attack will be happen in the next features also. Parallelly, using the descriptive based algorithm, you know that what kind of natures of algorithm, what is the source is there. So you can find out the description of the algorithm that you can do this. Parallelly, you can identify the what kind of types of clusters are the types of emails are there based on the clusters algorithm. I can do the clustering based on the cybersecurity algorithm that I can do it. So when I'm talking about the cyber or cyber security or cyber terrorism, there is a spam detection, malware detection. I'm just talking about the just want to know that one of the new areas actually coming. That's you know that everybody's actually mobile has got activated, and you know nobody knows about that. When you install the applications, you already giving the permission to the application to the all while in the installations also. But you know that what kind of informations are taken by the Google or maybe other software company. Maybe what they are doing, they're actually seeing the your location and the locations also. They can see your GPS traffic also. Based on the GPS traffic and this thing also, they can identify that what kind of cyber or terrorism can be happens using your particular GPS logs also, that you can identify that. There are more and more different ways the people are talking about the cyber wars or cyber terrorism attack. But we want to there are some technologies are there. See, technology can be used for the good purpose also, bad purpose also. Machine learning, I can say one of the tools of technology we are using the good purpose to predict the what kind of cyber war or cyber attack is happening. I'm just talking about that. So when I'm talking about the some of the cyber war or terrorism kind of things, I want to know that how I can identify that user identification of how I can reveal the identification of that particular terrorism. Then how I can do the how I can detect my identity theft, how I can do that. Where is the information leakage is going on, how I can prevent that. Maybe how I can protect my profile on the social networking website. I guess most of the peoples are maybe those are the participants are there in the current seminars current. Maybe they are getting some emails like that your ID got hacked. Maybe they are making a replica of your Facebook profile, and what they're trying to ask about that, they're actually asking about that, okay, I'm actually in the problem in the money, and they're actually asking for the money. And suddenly they realize that, okay, my password got hacked, and people are asking for the money. Or maybe there is a similar replica is created using my ID, and he's actually trying to talk with my friends. And then after that you realize that. So when you are talking about your Facebook profile also, you have to check about that what kind of privacy level you are maintaining on the Facebook profiles, that is maintain about that. Another one of I'm talking about important things about that is I'm just talking about the opinions differ the person to person. There are some competitions going on, father and daughter, maybe couple challenges are there, maybe something. So I want to share information onto the Facebook. That is my first things are there. See, what is the use of that? See, those are the peoples are there, they can use your misuse the informations about that. And what you can do, they can try to use this kind of information for the some bad purposes also. So you can use the social media as a platform. The social media platform you can use for the good purpose, as like I'm talking about that. You can establish the good research collaboration network also. You can find a good information about the conference that you can use it. But as I said about that, because I'm just I had lots of friends are there. I'm just going to that. People just posting, okay, maybe 20 years are together. Maybe I can say father and daughter, maybe mother and son. But why you want to share that information? Because that information can be used by the other people also. You don't know what kind of settings you've done in this privacy. Most of the people you want to see the setting that is a defaultly make as such publics only. So what are the information you are saying on the internet? That is one of the threat, because we are doing the indirectly mistakes also, but we should be take care about that. What are the identities maintained by social identity? It should not be taken by the other people's also. That I'm talking about the how you can detecting that. Maybe I'm talking about like what are the different hidden channels are there so that my information got leakage also. And just give them one of my example which has happened with me also. When I was come to the before I come to the Australia, actually hand over my I want to take one credit card. Actually, I hand over the documents to the that agent, and I got a credit card. But I received another call about that, or like you had some presents also. You have to give some money to this XYZ bank, and if you're not pay that, there will be FIR will fine against you. I told okay, you're fine about that. Then he was asking about my banking details, and I told him that boss, I don't have account for this bank also. And on what basis your account? And even also I told him that that is not my name also. What are you talking about spelling of my name? DIPAK. I'm using DEEPAK. That is spelling mistake is there. Even also address is wrong. So you are trying to fool these other people's? No. So these are the peoples are actually using the misuse information. That is one of the become the big threats for our country also, as well as for us also. So you can use the identify that this is one of the hidden area that you can use as a PhD purpose also. But I'm trying to say about that. These are the some of the use cases you can use it. Another I'm talking about that when you're sharing the information, how you can build the different types of risk analytical model, how you can how we can do this. So that was that kind of analytical risk model you can do this. So in this analytical model, let me increase this. So you can see, you can collect the all the informations are there, you can put it there. After that, what you can do, so if you got images are there or some things are there, so you can apply the, these are the some of the areas I'm talking about the at the cyber risk. So you can identify that, you can do the deep packet analysis also, forensic analytics also. Maybe you can do the what kind of threat intelligence you can do, payload analysis, application activity, behavior monitoring, that you can use it. So those are the one of the area that you can use it also. I'm just giving the another example like you know that there was one of the incident was happened. There was one person was who's actually killed the actually a teacher because of XYZ reason. I don't know to that. But before he's doing that, he was actually keeping the some kind of post onto the Facebook wall or something. And what happened actually after that particular incident, and there was another two incident was about to happen. Those are the people that are trying to post us the bash on the Facebook wall and all those things. This is one of the cyber war against the one community to another community. The police was detected those kind of things, and they actually captured that particular two person. So what I'm talking about that they can see the behavior monitoring of the one particular community, and based on that they can take the direct kind of actions. So what are we doing that? That is I'm talking about that cyber war. So how I'm talking about that, you can monitor the what kind of post you are doing that. Based on that I can do the threat analytics, and based on that I can see the behavior monitoring also, and I can see that what kind of action I should be taking. So those are the things I am talking about, that these are the one of the areas I'm talking broad area where you can go for the different types of machine learning use. So one of the area I'm talking about deep packet analysis, forensic capabilities, event impact assessment, network traffic, threat intelligence, payload analysis, threat correlation, anomaly detection, root cause analysis. Those are the some of the area I can say we can do the lots of machine learnings are we can do it. Maybe I can say, and even also when you're talking about data, that data either I can say images are there, maybe texts are there, maybe videos are there. Based on that, I have to build some kind of risk analytics model, and what is the risk associated with that. Again, I'm talking about this kind of information can be considered as a cyber war or cyber terrorism, because you cannot predict that how the cyber war or the cyber terrorism happen. This is because we got a data information is one kind of weapon. That particular weapon can be used for the bad purpose also, can be for the good purpose also. There are two types of people are there. But here, as a professional, how we can use a machine learning as a tool for the good purpose, in good purpose to detect the what kind of hidden things are there about that particular data. So that I'm talking about the cyber war terrorism. So when I'm talking about the threat analytics, so again this is I'm just talking about like when I'm talking about when you install the cybersecurity firewall, what kind of how you are doing the refreshing about the rules also, what kind of particular data payloads means what kind of data is got ingested by that particular attackers also. Maybe what I can say, Are they targeting one particular server, or are they just want to do some kind of thing also? Maybe what kind of speed kind of attacks are there that you can do this? When I'm talking about that particular attacks, correct? Now I've got the attacks. Now what I can do this, I have to build some kind of intelligence system so that it can be predict the attacks. So what kind of predicts? What is the signature? Maybe I can identify the what kind of different types of data or natures I'm talking about, signature I'm talking about that. Maybe what I can say, different types of patterns are coming for the one particular web server, anomaly detection, how I can do this. Then what kind of learning I'm getting from the different types of attack from the previous happened, and you can predict that what kind of new types of attack will be in the future. That kind of learning workbench I can do as a part of the cyber war and the analytics. Then I'm talking about like once I'm talking about detections, what kind of benefits you will take it about that. Maybe when I'm talking about that, you can get some kind of trainings. Maybe what kind of things you develop the model. It is always very good that you have to take the always 360 degree base positive on the timely feedback about your model also. You have to choose the right features from the while activating that particular rules. Continuous of the features variation also. You cannot go for the 10 features which is selected for the 3 months also. You have to continuously review a model, and that I can say how you can add the another 2 features. I can do this. So those are the things I can do it also. These are the some of the examples are there, so you can go for this threat analytics. These are the some of the ways I can do threat analytics. One is I'm talking about the heuristic pattern. Second, I'm talking about the on the spot or baseline data or profiling kind of data. I can do this. How I can do the anomaly in the real time. Maybe when I'm talking about the how I can do cyber war terrorism, for most of the project, people are going for the time series based analytics because we got a time, day, and timestamp that you can go. You can use for the clustering algorithm to make the classify the different types of wars and terrorism. Something you can do it. And what is the best I'm talking about that? How I can do the unassisted learning or some kind of learning from that particular my experience also. How I can do this. Those are the things you can do as a part of this one. This is I'm just talking about the fraud detection. So just ignore that. Then once you develop the cyber war or cyber war detection systems are there, how I can raise the particular incident about that, how I can do the incident management, and how you can make the classification of different types of activity you can do as a part of the this one security management, how you can do this. So that is I'm just talking about the security. So let me go through the some of the examples. I'm just talking about that. So this is I'm just talking about the one of the cyber security was happened. So like I just got one data sets, and in that particular data sets, there is a one IT company is there. In that particular IT company, there was a what was happened. There is a distributed denial of services attack. There are some server was there which is located at the outside of their network, and there are some servers are there which is hacked by the server, and they deploy some and they started the different types of the attacks on that particular server. So this is the one of the way I am performing the cyber attack onto this. This is one of my declare as a cyber war against my company. So how I'm trying to do that this one. So this is I'm just talking about the this I got the data sets. These are the ports. I just got it, and I just got the all the data, and I just put it into CSV file. Now I want to know that how I can make the. So most of the people knows about the Python. This I'm using pandas library to load my data. These are the column I'm talking about that. These are the columns are there. And these are the base of the column. I'm just making the classifications about that. What types of attacks are there? When I'm talking about df.head, so basically it will display the what are the top 5 records are there. It will display about that. Second, I'm talking about that. Okay, what is the start time and the end time that particular attack? I just want to see that based on this character. So I'm just checking that. Okay, these are the start time is there, and this is my end time is there. I'm just talking about my attack is there. So this is all in terms of the milliseconds. I'm just displaying the data. Then after that, what I'm trying to do that, I'm just trying to say that, okay, what are the different columns are there? Maybe some empty columns are there. I'm just dropping that. I'm just dropping that particular column, and I'm just seeing that. So what I'm trying to do that, I'm just trying to build some kind of model into the given my data. So what I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to remove the all the empty space, other things I'm trying to do that. What are the real kind of these are there. I'm just trying to see this one. So I got all the data. I'm just building all my models are there. This is my shape. And here actually I'm just talking about that. Okay, what kind of different types of attack was happen and what kind of classification I'm just talking about. These are my attack categories are there, subcategory. What is the protocol they are using? What is source IP, source port, destination port? What is the attack name? What is the attack reference is there? So those are them just talking about the created some kind of charts are there. That is a missing number chart. So what I'm trying to say that what are the missing numbers are there in that particular charts? I'm just trying to identify here also. Similarly, I'm just trying to go for the other things also. How I can go for these are the 178 to the total number of attack. And how I can make this attack into in terms of the graph format. I'm just doing that. Then I'm just going for the what kind of attack categories are there. So in attack category, I'm saying that my subcategory is 4192 and I'm just attack reference is this one. Then these are the something I'm just doing that. Then I'm doing is null. I'm removing the this one. I'm just doing all the this one. Finally, I got all this data, my particular data. So these are all my datas are there. I'm just talking about that. And here I'm just talking about that what kind of different protocols are using, what kind of different categories are there, and what kind of the different protocol and what kind of different category of the attacks. I'm just talking about. Just I got it. Based on that, I'm just trying to prepare some kind of model. What are the backdoors? See, the spelling is mistakes are there, correct? So I'm just going for the backdoors equal to backdoor. I'm replacing that. So exploits and all those, I'm just made the classification and I'm just going for all the outputs. So these are some of the types of the attack categories are there. Maybe it's a fuzziers, resonance, analysis, shell code is there. Maybe sometimes a generic code attack is there. Maybe I'm talking about there are some internal machines are there that I can say there's a denial of service attack. Maybe Wombus attacks are there. Maybe what I found that someone actually scanned the machine and if I found some exploits are there, based on the exploits, I'm trying to do the attacks. These are some of the types of the attack. I got it from this. I'm just trying to build some kind of basic information. Based on the basic information, now this is I'm just talking about this one. Now I'm just going for what are the ports they are using. So these are the ports they are using, like TCP, MUX, RJE. These are different types of ports they are using, and I'm just trying to go for all types of ports and their source and destination. These are the things I'm doing parallelly. Here I'm just producing the gap. Okay, what types of attacks are there based on this? So I'm talking about the exploits actually, because once the machine got exploited, they can install any kind of utility, because you know that any attack is performed by the internal system. It's very faster than compared to the outside of the system, because outside the system, it can be easily predictable and that can be, you can easily block also. But if you got someone internal machine got exploits, maybe how you can exploit that? Take the simple example. Suppose you're putting the password as a password at the rate 1234, correct? That can be easily exploited. They can be deployed this. And internally, you can find out that these are the attacks. It's mainly possible as an internal also. So what I can say based on the attacks, I found that there are some internal machines are there which internally got exploited. That's why the attack category is more. So this I'm just producing the category. So here, so these are the things I'm just trying to show the information. So let me show something. These are this. Now after that, I'm actually applying some kind of collaborative filtering. So I'm applying the Pearson as Pearson, and I'm just going for that. I'm just checking what are the comparison between this algorithm, which are actually giving the correct results. I'm just checking that. And here actually I'm producing a heat map. And based on the heat map, I'm just check that, okay, how the attacks might looks like. Those are the analyses I can be used as a part of this algorithm. Parallelly, what I want to know that which source ports got exploited, what kind of attacks are looks like, what is my source and destination, and how much duration is taken, what are my source and destination ports. Those are the graph I produce as a part of this particular data. Then after that, I'm just talking about these are my destination IP addresses there. Okay, so how my attack patterns are going on, I'm just trying to see that. Okay, so these are my attack patterns are there. I'm just going for this. So these are the different ways I'm just trying to talk about that, how I can do the more detections of the cyber war and cyber things based on this. This is just I'm talking about the more analysis of the data. Then here I'm talking about that, okay, how my data is looks like. So exploits, how it started and what is the categories are there from the this one time series based algorithm, timely based. I'm just talking about that. Here I'm just talking about that what are the different categories are there. So you can see at what time it has got high. So I'm just trying to produce a different types of graphs and all those things. And let's see that. And even also I'm trying to say that at what time my attack is more. So I can say at night time my attack is more, my daytime attack is not less. What kind of attacks are performed in that particular thing. So what I'm trying to say that I'm trying to do the more kind of analysis of my data based on using my machine learning. So those are the graphs I built it. And here I'm just talking about the different types of scatter plot graph, what is the attack category. And here I found that, okay, what is my street plot is there. So based on that, you can try to show some kind of beautiful informations about the graph. And you can see that what is the destination IP address is there. So you can see that what kind of ports they are using. So those are the things we are actually showing as a part of the cyber war. So what I trying to show that here in my capability, I want to know that I got a call about that. In my company, there is a cyber attack was happened. Then how I can start this? So what I can know that I'm just trying to get the more informations about the log files also. Parallelly, I'm trying to get the information about the ports. Then actually I'm just trying to use kind of massage also, and I'm converting the all the cyber attack information, and parallelly I'm getting the TCP port information. And based on that, I want to identify that what are the origins of my source of my attack. Then I found that, okay, there are some machines are there which is internally got exploited. There are some other machines that is outside got exploited. Then I got that that's the machine. Then based on that particular data, what kind of attacks was happening? Okay, it is exploits or roam, it's a Trojan or something that I identify that. On which area that most of the attack was happened, is internal or external machine, what kind of different. Those are the things I have to do the as a part of the analysis, and based on that I can prove it. So this is I'm just talking about, I'm using the so many algorithms are there, I'm using that. But what is very important about that, when you apply the algorithm, you have to show that how you can very good in the visualization, how you can show the output to the users. Because if I give this output to the users, okay, so they can say that, okay, destination port distribution target is 149.16, and these are the ports I can got exploited, because always port is start from the 0 to 64556. So what are the different ports are used for the perform the attacks also that I identify. Those are the detailed kind of analysis you can do using the machine learning. That is the advantage I'm talking about, the how you can use the machine learning as a part of the cyber or the cyber algorithm. So this is one of the demo I done it. So parallelly, I was trying to go for the k-means cluster algorithm, but somehow that I got something like memory is not sufficient for me. So I'm just did not show the demo also, but you can apply the k-means cluster algorithm also. So next come to the points also, like these are the some of the machine algorithm you can use. Another area I'm talking about, the one the attack is got performed, how we can do the intrusion and detection of that particular attack in the real time. How I can do this? You can got the analysis of data, extraction of the features, then you can apply the different types of algorithm that you can do. Then you can apply the different types of unsupervised learning algorithm for the selecting the classifying the features, and how you can do the classification. That you can apply that. There is another area I'm talking about, the cognitive science, how we can do this. Basically, in the cognitive science, what I can do, when any cyber attack is what performed, so what is my particular system is there, is particular system is automatically get activated also, is automatically got respond, it will automatically respond that particular attack also. Parallelly it will enrich my database also, and it will automatically inform to the all the security professionals, and it will automatically take the necessary actions to shut down all the system. Those I'm talking about the cognitive automation. That is the one of the area in the popular coming to machine learning that you can use it. Basically, like something is going on, so I have to build some kind of recommendation engine. Okay, now the attack is too more, it is a clear, now the I want to know that what is the risk is there about that particular system, is the risk is that particular is there, automatically machine learning will be based on the recommendation system, it will send the alert and it will shut down my all the machines, that kind of things. That I'm talking about the cognitive automation. That is one of the area in the cyber war you go for the machine learning. So like when I'm talking about the machine learning, so basically, this is one of the examples are there. Document processing example. This is one of the popular example. Like if you want to go for the any banks in the foreigns or something, you're actually giving some documentation, or maybe I'm just giving the one of the example. When I went to US, you got a passport, you just put your passport, so it automatically scan it and everything, and it will, after seeing that, it will check your all the travel history. Based on the travel history, it will actually creating the one there's one person is sitting that he's always closely watching with us, and it will, based on that particular algorithm, you get some kind of degree index. And if that particular degree index is higher than that, then you are allowed to easily allow. But if the degrees are less than is there, so custom officer will come, it will ask some kind of question to you, and you have to answer for that. So those kind of systems already build cognitive automation using the based on the machine learning algorithm that you can use it. So these are the some of the examples are there. You can use it as a part of this. So these are the some of the area I'm talking about, that how I can, when I'm talking about the algorithms are there. Maybe you can go for the how we can do the resiliency management, security management, how we can implement governance compliances. These are the some of the other areas are there where you can focus on the cyber or the cyber security, because it's very important about that. Any attack is happen, the cyber forensics is very important. How, why is the attack happen, why the data got lost, how much losses happened to my company, all the data is my safe, or maybe when my particular primary side is down, how I can record my DR side. Those are the incident response on the cyber forensic. You have to do that, because in the world there are more demand for the forensic analytics. It's more important about that, because most of the people knows about machine learning, but nobody's working about the machine learning using the big data forensic approach. That is one of the areas the people are more demanding on that. That is the, you can do it. These are some of the slides are there. Let me show something to you. So if you want to go for the something for the open source project, so there is one project is called as a spam association. Is open source code is there where you can use it for this, and there you can see the lots of algorithms are implemented. Spam association, that is one of the popular project in the cybersecurity, cyber, or also you can use it, and you can modify this project and you can use for your students project purpose also. That is I'm talking spam association. There is another project is called as cyber kill chain, means how the once attacker is got happen, correct? So how you can trace that particular things, and what kind of prevention, how you can kill that particular attack. That is a cyber kill chain. There is another open source group is there. There are lots of algorithms are there going on in the cyber kill chain also. You can become part of that particular group also. So there is another I'm talking about that there is another product is I'm talking about the cyber risk scorecard. Basically it will scan the all the informations which is accessible onto the internet, and based on that internet it will check that how is your information secured, what kind of information got leaked, how the people are spending time on this, and how the people are sharing the information. Because in Australia kind of thing, it is not blocked. You can apply the Facebook, Twitter, you can apply that, but they keep eye on the watch. If there any kind of information is not shared is happening onto the related companies, so they are all the scannings are there. When everything is on the systems are there, so you don't have to worry about it, because those kind of system foolproofs are built by the any banks. The cyber risk scorecard is there. That is one of the area you can use it. So artificial intelligence, of course, but machine learning is part of this. So just I'm talking about the another area. So this is a different types of algorithms are using. So I'm not going for this. So this is one of them talking about the slide about a case study. So this case study, like people are saying about that, some of the things got failed. Of course, without failures, you cannot get a success. So those are the failures of algorithms are given by them. So let me show something to you. Now the tell me that how I can identify that particular person is talking true or not. How you can identify that? That you can do. This is a some of the data, because you got the data correct. Now these are the data is got it, but how you can convert that particular data into the human readable formats for that particular purpose. You can identify that what is a non-infected data set, what is an infected data set. You have to identify that. Even also once you got that particular data set, what kind of data is missing from that particular thing. So this is the something you can do it as a part of the language also. Now you take the example, correct? If someone says that this Hungarian based language is there, and if I want to convert that, I'm getting that he is a nurse and she is a doctor. But if I want to do the convert this again also, I'm getting. So what I want to say that there is a something a problem with the data also. There's some problem with the missing data. So I can say there is a something kind of problem with that particular data, and I have to how I can unbias that particular data. Based on that, I can do it actually. That I'm talking about data set, because this kind of data set basically used to the for the personal threat identification purpose only, that you can use it. Then this is not required. This is another knowledge I'm talking about, that like when I'm talking about the deep learning algorithm, correct? That deep learning algorithm, again, that is the you can use it as cyberphase. So this is one of the example. I want to identify what are the finding anomalies and the attacks in my network. How I can do this? So when I'm trying to get all the data, so you can use the TCP dump command. Maybe you can go for NetFlow or Netcat. Some other commands are there. You can use it. You can got all the data. Once you got all the data, so what you can do this, you have to identify that what kind of anomalies or attacks are going on that particular things. I have to identify that. So this I got the data. Now what I can do this, there is a lots of algorithms are available. So either I want to go for the machine learning or deep learning. I want to see that, and how I can extract the features from that particular data, and how I can extract the deferred hidden patterns of that particular data. So there are two ways. Either lots of discussion, debate is going on. Someone say that machine learning is useful, deep learning is useful, up to the users, how I can do this. But what I want to know that in some cases, what's happened, you got the data and everything is there, and but you don't have the time. Now that I'm just talking about the advantage for the deep learning is there, correct? If you want to go for the machine learning, you want to know the nature of that particular data, what kind of features you want to extract, that you have to use it. But if you want to do the deep learning, I'm not worried. I can go for different types of layers. It actually helps to identify what kind of auto features I can extract that particular things. And parallelly, what happened? There is a high number of detections of the features given that particular data. So of course, I can say in some cases the deep learning is very useful, but in what scenario it is very useful, it depends on you. Because if I got the data, and if I don't know anything about my data or domain knowledge is there, and if I know that there are 100 kind of features are there, I want to know that, but I don't know what kind of features are there. And in that particular purpose, you can go over a deep learning algorithm. But in my previous case, I know that this source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, what are the ports there, attack category, these are all my features are there. So for that particular purpose, I can go for the machine learning. If you don't know anything about the features kind of thing, then you can go for the deep learning approaches, where you can automatically detect the features also, that you can do is. Then again, I'm just talking about like these are the common things are there. Then you have to understand that how the data is there, what is my source port and destination port. And let me check that sometime what's happened. You got the data, and in that particular data, you're getting the source port is 70,000 and destination port is 70,000. You're getting that. You can discard those kind of information as a part of this thing, because always your port number is starting between the 0 to 2 ratio 16, that is 65 5334. Your port number is cannot greater than the 2000 70,000. So you can ignore those kind of data as a part of the collecting the log file. So that I'm talking about the understanding, cleaning the data, that you can use it. But here I don't know, but what happening, that is the only thing I'm just talking about, the cleaning the data, that you can use it. Then you can apply the different types of functions. There I'm talking about the Pearson's and something that you can have, either you can have Euclidean base or something that you can go for it. Then you have to use the different types of the unsupervised learning algorithm. So in the cybersecurity and the cyber war, there are mainly 4 algorithms basically they are using: K-means cluster algorithm, Affinity, DB-scanner, TSNE. But for my purpose, I'm more familiar with the K-means cluster and DB-scan. In the K-means cluster algorithm, if the size of the data is very small, and you know what exact centroids are there, and you based on the centroids you can create the clusters, then in that particular case you can go for the K-means cluster algorithm. But in my case, I got the data, but I don't know how many centroids are there and how many. So in that particular case, what I can do, I can go for the DB-scanner based algorithm. What I can do, I know that these are the types of attacks are there. These are my densities are there. I can do the grouping internally. Based on the grouping on internally, I can find out that these are number of DB-scan attack DB-scan algorithms are there. What is the drawback of the DB-scan algorithm? It maybe create the large number of centroids are that 100 to 100 centroids are that can be created, but you have to go for each under the centroid. That is a drawback is there. So based on the what kind of scenario you can go for the DB scan or k-means that you can use it. Then I can say like you can use any algorithms. So this is talking about TSNE algorithm. So you can use it and you can find out the what kind of algorithms you are using that. So and what is interpret. I just show the something to you also. Let me show you. So go 7 or 5. So actually, I just done the other way of the clustering algorithm. I'll just show you about that. So you can see this. Actually, I got the data. Now, based on the data, so I just the k-means cluster algorithm, I can do it. Then after that, actually, I use centroids algorithms. I just see that how my data is got distributed. I know that. Then I just define the clusters equal to 4, and I just draw this. So how I can see my all my data. That is. But if you want to, but here I know that I just want to focus on 4. So based on that particular 4 only, it is actually building some kind of cluster model, and I can use it. And second things, this is I'm just talking about the clusters, and I'm actually using the labels. Okay, the labels I'm just going for this. And parallelly, what I'm trying to say that how I can go for the what kind of number something I'm just trying to use that. So these are and these I'm talking about the predicted kind of thing. What kind of predicted I'm just talking about. So many things are there. You can use it as a part of this. Parallelly, I'm just trying to get some image also, but image is not work. So those are the things you can use as a part of the k-means cluster algorithm. You can use it. So when I'm talking about the see, all the domains are different, correct? Now cyber war, cyber terrorism, all the domains are different. But if you want to see that, what are the basic principles using machine learning? That is a common. So machine learning is one of the domain which can be applicable to the all types of domain. But in the cyber security, you just more knowledge about the of what is the source, what patterns of attacks are there, how the IP spoofings are there. So you want to know the more domain knowledge, and based on that, you can build some kind of machine learning model, and you can show to your company, okay, these are the things I can do it actually, that you can do it. So this is a overall presentation from my side today. Is if anyone have a question, they can ask me about that. So like I'm just talking about the another example. I'm talking about that like you got a mobile, correct? Now you got a mobile. Now you want to see that that particular mobile is actually got compromised or not. How I can do this? Okay. So basically, now when you're communicating about that, correct? So you have to see that there's a Bayesian belief network-based algorithms are there. So it can be used this kind of questionnaires. I can use it based on this question. I'm just talking about I got the log files and everything is there. And based on that, I can see that what kind of things I open that. Okay. Then after that, what I can see that okay, what kind of known things are there and what kind of devices got something is there. So I can Bayesian network I'm using for the second level. And third things like how I can my mobiles can behave or something like that is I'm talking about third step. So you can use the Bayesian based kind of algorithm for the checking that your particular mobile or machine is got a compromise or not, that you can use it. So basically these are the, say how you can identify, because you know that sometimes what's happened, people are sending an email and by mistakenly you're downloading the one software and you're doing the installation all also, but you want to know that sometimes what's happened, your battery become is very your mobile become very heat also, and it is consuming the battery. So you want to know that something has happened with your mobile. So how we can do this? Because you are the machine learning experts. You know that using this Bayesian belief-based network-based algorithm, you can check that that particular device or something is got a compromise or not, that you can do this. And that is I'm talking about the probability model. You can use it. So this is I'm just talking about the this thing. So these are the 5 things are there. You can use it. That's it. I'm just talking about the, this is one of the case study and you can just use it. So you can use a Bayesian belief-based network algorithm to check that your particular device got compromised or your particular host is for that particular, because I'm just talking about next step. In the cyber war, I know that this particular machine is got it. What? But you know that like when I want to go for any machine learning, so most of the IP address running a DSCP only. Now, once my machine is got booted, it is not necessary I will get the same IP address. Maybe I will get a different IP address also. How I can identify that? For that particular purpose, you have to go for the Bayesian belief-based algorithm, and that you can use to check that that particular server is compromised or not. That you can use it. Okay. So let's start the question answer session.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very wonderful session and very informative session. Over to Swarupa, ma'am.
Thanks, Preet madam. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank Mr. Deepak Mane sir for such a revealing and far-sighted session. It was really thought-provoking and enlightening session. Sir, we have few questions from our audience. The first question is, what is the most important technical challenge in the detection of cyber war and terrorism?
See, the main important challenge about that, see, now the one thing about like okay, I just talk about that. Now when in the cyber war the attack has happened, correct, that is attack is happen onto the multiple machines also, multiple network devices, firewalls are there, applications are there, correct. The more challenges about that, how you can collect this information and how you can put this information into the one of the model. So what I'm talking about the model, now take the example, correct. So when I'm talking about this, my algorithms are there, correct. Now I have to generate one files. So how you can collect the all the informations and how you can put the all information into the one particular format, that I'm talking about the training data sets, how you can build it. That is the one of the challenges there that you can identify that. Once you build this model, now these are the datas are there. These are actually getting data from a TCP dump, but actually that data set is there. But how you can put that data into the particular order, that you have to do it. That is challenges there currently. Data is
Oh,
very important.
yes, sir. Okay, sir. The second question is, what are the future expectation in this field?
See, futures, see the cyber war, cyber experts are there. These are the futures are there, correct? Right now, the currently all the worlds are running on the this one on the internet only. Now you know that there are different types of cyber wars or cyber attacks or cyber patterns are going on. Now, if you want to take the example of the any countries, correct? Now, as I told about before about that, correct? Now, today all the worlds are interconnected by the internet only. Now, if you want to collapse any kind of technology or any kind of financial or banking network or medical network, it is sufficient that I can carry out any kind of attack by sitting in any part of the world also, and I can do it. So for that particular purpose, you need a expert like a digital forensic expert. You can do that. You can need the cyber experts. You know that because there are lots of demands are there for the cyber experts. I'll just give the example like the cyber experts. See, there is only 2.8 millions are there, but we need around 1.45%. There's a growth is there that you can take it. So these are the skills are required by the cyber security. Maybe you can go for the key logging is there. Maybe you can go for the machine learning is there. You can go for the deep learning experts are there. That you can go for the cyber or kind of thing that you can use it. It's more demanding because I know that cyber wars, those are the peoples are there. They are getting more and more demand. Just want to know about that. So this is one of the program is there. So how much demands are there in Australia if you want to see? Cyber security, data science. See, these are the more demands are there. You will not find any expert as is there because there are some challenges are there. Become the cyber security because what is challenges are there as a cyber security, correct? You are working as a researcher and a forensic. The main challenge about that, once you're collecting that particular data, how you can collect that particular data and how you can, because what are the data you are collecting as a forensic, it should be proved into the, as a legal, into the court also, correct? That I'm talking to cyber legal experts. Cyber laws are there. So those are the upcoming domains are there where the lots of peoples are required, because I know in Australia there are some cyber law courses are going on. People are applying for that. Only the few people got selected as cyber law expert because what are the evidence you have collected as a forensic, it should be approved by the court. That is main challenges are there. So how I can do the cybersecurity professional as a part of, even also I just give the example like that if someone actually deleted the file, how I can do apply the cybersecurity professional onto that, how I can do this. More demands are there in the, because as I told about that, correct? Data science, machine learning, deep learning, cybersecurity, then I can say digital twin, robotics, artificial. These are the all the upcoming demand are there. The most of the more professionals are required. More professionals are required because I guess today you heard about the news about this, correct? Let me show you something to you.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay. The next question is, can we do research on this topic in social networking area? And what are the ways to do this research?
sorry, your question is not clear.
Can we do research on this topic in social networking area? And what are the ways to do this research?
See, you can do the cyber. Sorry, madam, your voice is not clear. Sorry.
Okay, sir. Can we do this research on this topic in the social networking area?
Yes, that you can do it also, correct? Now the take the example, correct? I'm just giving the recent example, like in India there is a formal protest is going on, correct? And you know that there is some celebrities are there who actually made us give support to the farmers. Now there are some Twitter wars going on. Okay, Sachin Tendulkar supported that. This is our internal matter. Something is there. There is there is one famous singers are there. He actually supported the farmers. But after that, what he found that they are not posted, correct? They're actually they are using some Twitter toolkits. Using Twitter toolkit, they actually posted this message onto the Twitters, correct? So that is the one of the, you can identify the how I can do the cyber war, correct? How I can apply the forensic technology using the cyber war. Now this is the one of the way the people are people. I can use another name. I can use the cyber toolkit and I can do the any kind of messaging to the our countries also, that I can do. I don't know the specific any country name, but that is one of the big threat for any countries also, because these are the misuse of the technology. People are using that. So you have to identify that. Okay, next thing what I want to know that when the peoples are doing the tweets or something post about that, what is the validity? When you posted about that, you have to see that it's a false positive message, false negative message. What is the impact on that? What is the risk associated for that? So those are the things you can do as a part of this thing, and based on that, so then you can make a decision about that. Okay, there is some kind of cyber war is going on for again our country, that you can detect as a part of a research work also. But so in that particular case, you have to identify that what is the source is there, what is data is there, it is a type by the users or it is done by the one particular toolkit, what is the motive behind that, what is the origin for that. Maybe sometime what's happened like that, there is suddenly growth into the number of followers by the XYZ this one uh, all the famous celebrities. So what he found that most of the followers are there, they are from the Turkey in Facebook. What they are doing that, basically they are actually installed some kind of creating the fake accounts on the Facebook, and they just like as a friend and they're following that. So okay, I'm followers. So those are the things you can do some kind of research work in the social media. But This I can talking about the cyber war or cyber security can do it. That is I'm just talking about. You can use it. So how you can what are the different tools are using as a part of the cyber attack? Also, you have to identify the nature of the tools also. Either is a coding or tool that you can identify as a part of the cyber war expert.